we have to earn our artha in a proper way. Next. It also ensures social order, for there be no society if anyone renunciated worldly life to meditate. That means we have to leave this world with whatever we have to acquire in a proper way. Next. Importantly also the pleasure. We also must enjoy because it's a gift of God. But it has to still bound by the dharmic principle. Next. Like artha, karma is seen as appropriate pursuit of the souls and the gift of God. Example, Kama Sutra, the manual of erotic and other human pleasure, attributed to the sage of Vatsayana. But again, while the Hindus encourage to enjoy the worldly pleasure, it must be within the bounds of dharma. That's most important. Next. An ultimate and end of every Hindu's life is moksha, which can be understood in a variety of ways. Liberation from the rebirth, enlightenment, self-realization, union with God. This is considered to be the highest purpose of life, although very few can achieve in a single life, but there are a variety of paths to attain it. Next. Hinduism put great emphasis on 4 important parts how to achieve God. Next. The fourth one is service to the world, to the mankind, to the humanity. Second is surrender to God. Third is self-realization or meditation. Fourth is sagacity or the path of knowledge. The 4 paths are very important in Hinduism to attain God. Next. In summary, concept of God, Para Brahman, Nirguna Brahman, no attribute, Sarguna Brahman with attribute represented by symbols, Eternal Trinity, the God, the many souls and the bonds which binding them. Next. The 4 purposes of life, we have to live in a very dharmic way, we have to earn our artha in a proper way, we have to enjoy the gift of God in a proper way, and finally attain the moksha. The 4 stages of life is brahmacharya, more discipline and more towards educating ourselves, grihastha, more towards family life, vanaprastha, more towards serving the mankind, and finally the sannyasa, more towards attaining God. Next please. The 2 universal laws that guide Hinduism is, a Hindu is a dharma principle and the karma. He has to do every action in more righteous way, that is dharmic way. And the 2 important languages found in Hindu scripture is known as Tamil and Sanskrit. These 2 languages is the one all the scriptures and books are in. Next. The ultimate aim of life in Hinduism is the liberation of the souls from the bonds and ultimate with the God, moksha, that is final, and this 4 pathway will allow us to reach God. Next. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bala. I believe after our 3rd speaker, we have a little bit of comparison that we have made. And we find the uniqueness of each religion. We find out that how each religion actually drives spirituality among the followers and contribute toward the well-being of us to be together here today. And our last but not least, the speaker who represent the Buddhists, we would like to present to you I.R. Kyang.
Mr. Moderator, all our senior officer and staff of the university, our honored speakers, all the organizers and brothers and sisters. So normally Buddhist wish people Sukhi Hontu, meaning may you be well and happy. After listening to the very profound talk by the 3 speakers, I'm so absorbed in it that maybe I have to refer back to my note when I do my presentation. The other thing, I apologize also. Actually, I was given the understanding that there won't be any PowerPoint presentation. So as a result, I'll be using only the notes. Also, because I need to use the note, can I sit down? I will try to make it as simple as possible and also within the 20 minutes. The Buddhist scripture, equivalent of other people's scripture, we call Tripitaka, which is 3 baskets consisting of moral conduct rules, teachings of the Buddha, and also detailed explanation of the teachings of the Buddha. The Tripitaka was earlier recorded in some Indian languages called Pali and some in Sanskrit. Later part translated into other languages. So Buddhism, actually they look at the existence of things, all these things, from a different angle. They explain the existence from the point of view of human experience and human view. So as a result, sometimes we refer to Buddhism as a homocentric religion, as against theocentric. So that's why our meaning and our understanding of God also will be quite different. But I believe maybe there be a lot of similarity. It's only actually the terminology and the label. So Buddhism look at the gods in 2 different levels. The first level we call the common level or relative level. Then in this level, the Buddhists believe there are gods, small letter gods with S. That is because in our Buddhist scriptures, they describe that the existence of living beings other than human being, we also got animal which we can see. But on top of that, we also have many other type of existence that our human eye might not be able to see, like spirit, even some other form which are not so fortunate. But there is a group of existence, a group of beings who live very, very long and also enjoy a lot of happiness, a lot of calmness, and they have a lot of merits, and they can be very powerful, got a lot of blessings also. This group of living beings we call deities or heavenly beings. So we don't use the word gods, but in this case I just borrow the small letter gods. So these type of beings actually they existed in many different levels. Some they have a physical form, some they do not have a physical form. Some they also want to enjoy like pleasure, this sort of thing, but some they are absorbed in like meditation mode where they enjoy only tranquility and peace. So only thing is they are not everlasting. They are just like human. They won't live forever. Although compared with human, they live very, very long. And the other aspect is their wisdom is also somehow limited. They got a lot of good merits, but in terms of the development of the understanding of the mind, is a bit limited. So some of these gods have been worshipped by human beings, maybe people of other faith. And for Buddhists, those who started the practicing of Buddhists in certain country, they also started with a devotional aspect, where they actually also sometimes pay respect, take as an inspiration, and they use the word worship these gods also. And the reason they worship this god actually is they find that for them to get started, they need guidance, they need help, they need blessings, and also they need protection. This is one of the human basic needs. But as they progress further, the Buddhists normally they will only depend on spiritual teachers. Sometimes we call gurus, and very highly evolved very wise and compassionate beings. They call bodhisattvas, which actually is not to worship them or get protection or what. Actually is to give them inspiration and guide them in the practice to perfection. So just like teachers, because Buddhist main emphasis is on virtuous conduct and purification of the mind. So these beings, whether Buddhists worship, ask for help, this type of thing, we leave it to the individual Buddhists, because they can approach in a different way. Some they can straight away directly go and purify the mind, but some they have to go through this type of practice. But anyway, this type of beings, we always give a lot of respect, because they can become this type of beings also due to the past very good merits that they have done. This is at the relative levels.